Okay, so if your heart rate is getting a bit raised, then just slow things down a little bit, but hopefully it's just about getting your joints moving for roughly half an hour. Okay, so starting off, we're going to do our head circles. So looking over your left shoulder, bring your chin down in a semicircle to your right shoulder. We'll combine them this week, so now you're going to take it up over the top to the other side. Okay, so you're doing a full circle, but I'd like you to just pause at each shoulder just to slow the movement down a little bit. So now go the other way. So doing the top half of the circle, pause, then the bottom half of the circle, and another pause. Just allows you to think a little bit less, a little bit more, and hopefully get less dizzy. Good. Finish that circle and facing the front. Okay, now we'll do our shoulder movements. So you're going to open your arms up in a diagonal line. So with your right hand to start with, place it down by your left hip. Try and keep that elbow nice and straight. Then open up diagonally so you come out to the right. Then back down to your left hip. Then up, out to the right. Try and push your hand back slightly so it goes sort of just past straight, but then bring it back down to that hip. So we're just opening out the chest here, getting the shoulders thinking about moving. Lovely. Bring that one down to the hip, and then you're going to swap arms. So left hand comes over to your right hip, then take it up in a straight diagonal line to your left, then back down to that hip. Remember, squeeze at the top and then back down again. Keep it steady. We'll do two more. Open up and out, squeeze behind slightly, and then come forward. When you squeeze your arm behind, make sure you don't twist your body, otherwise you'll be cheating. Good stuff. Okay, and relax that arm there. All right then, so next one, we're going to get our core working. So you're going to start with your legs slightly on a split stance. So whichever leg you prefer, pop it in front. Okay, don't mind which way around you have it. Now what you're going to do, both hands are going to come up to the ceiling. Okay, then you're going to push your bum backwards as you lean forward. Okay, so if I swivel around slightly, so you come from here, and then I come forward. Almost like with your legs, it's almost like you're trying to do a bit of a calf stretch, but now your body is coming forward, okay? So give it a few goes, come up, soften your knees, so have a little bend in your knees, push your hips behind as you lean forward, okay? Then back up and slowly forward again. If you've got your knees locked straight, you'll find this very difficult. So just have them slightly bent and just leaning forward as much as you feel comfortable. Okay, good, come back up. Okay, so this next one is for our hips and our knees. So my recommendation is that you hold on for this one, okay, just so you're not worried about your balance. So you're going to lift your hip up as far as you feel comfortable, and then straighten your knee. Then bring your leg back down. Okay? And the next leg comes up in a knee bend. Then you straighten your leg, and then you bring your leg back down again. Okay? Just move this cushion back and find it easier to see what my legs are doing. So up, straighten that knee, then bring your foot back down. Second leg, bring up, straighten your knee, and down. So now we're getting the back of your legs, your hamstrings here, we're engaging those, as well as the muscles that bring your hip up, okay? So last couple on each leg, lifting your hip, straightening your knee, down, One more on each. Good stuff. All right then. So the last one in our mobility sequence is our ankle movements. So hopefully if you've done my class before, you'll remember this from a few weeks ago, although all the weeks seem to blur into one at the moment. So this is where we touch the sides of our feet on the floor to try and get our ankles to move as sort of maximally as they can. So first of all, nice and simple, you're just going to touch your heels to the floor with your toes up as high as you can towards the ceiling, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your foot behind you and try and touch the top of your foot to the floor. Now, if you can't do that, don't worry, but you're just trying to imagine and getting into that position, and that forces you to really point your toes, okay? Third position, you're going to turn the sole of your foot inwards, so it points towards the other foot, and tap the outside of your foot on the floor. Then you're going to switch, try and turn the sole of your foot away from your other foot and tap the inside of your foot. That one's the hard one. It doesn't really go that way, okay? So second leg, tap your heel, toes up as far as you can. Now tap the top of your foot on the floor, so point your feet as much as you can. Now turn your foot inwards and tap the outer edge of your foot. And now turn your foot outwards and tap the inner edge of your foot on the floor. Lovely. All right then. So now we'll move on to the balance specific exercises. Okay. As always, we're going to start with our single leg stand. Okay, just get your brain thinking about what we're doing and getting everything sort of firing and working as we want to. So, coming next to something you can hold on to, having your feet fairly close together. We are going to try and do this for 1 minute today, because normally we do for 30 seconds, okay? So, starting up properly, feet fairly close together, standing up straight, having your fingertips on something, whether it's a chair in front of you, whether it's a wall next to you, counter work surface, tabletop, whatever suits you, okay? Oh, someone's just come on mute. I knew this would happen. Let me just... There we go. Okay, so you're going to slide one foot backwards. So just your toes are resting on the floor. Shift your body weight so you are standing, most of your weight is on your flat foot, okay? And then all you need to simply do is lift that back foot off the floor. Off we go. So 1 minute of this, okay? So now that we're doing it for a sort of longer period of time, it allows you time to sort of progress through how much you hold on even within that 1 minute, okay? So we always talk about progressing from session to session, but now that you're stood in this position, you've got a bit more time to trial and error how much you really need to hold on, okay? So obviously for Jono and I, we don't need to hold on, but currently in the position that I'm in, for myself, and it's very individual, my balance isn't really challenged too much. Therefore, for me, I would have to make it harder to challenge myself. So for some of you at home, you might just need a couple of fingertips on the chair and that is enough to challenge you, okay? Some of you may need whole hands and that's fine. Lovely, drop your foot, give your foot a little wiggle. So the kind of message I'm trying to get across is, A, don't compare yourself to anybody else, because we're completely different in terms of, you know, what affects our balance and how good we are with it, okay? But also, because you're not comparing yourself to somebody else, you then need to work out for yourself how to challenge you, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So now let's switch to the other foot. So again, make sure your setup is good. If you set up wrong, it will make the minute really hard. If you set up correctly, then you're in a much better position. So switching to the other foot is flat, slide the other leg behind, shift that body weight onto your flat foot, and then bend your knee to lift that foot off the floor, and off we go. So as I was saying before with the other foot, if you're holding on completely with your hands, okay, so palms and fingertips and thumbs are all grabbing whatever surface you've got, just take off a few fingertips and see what happens. It might not make a difference. It might make a massive difference, okay? But you won't know until you try. As always, thinking of your safety, so don't do something too drastic. And if you can get away with only a couple of fingers on the chair, just move so it's just your fingertips, okay? And sometimes fingertips is all it needs. It just helps your brain sort of solidify that you're okay, you've got something to hold on to, all right? We've got 10 seconds to go with this leg. So just see how you can challenge yourself. Last couple of seconds. Good, and drop that foot down, lovely. Okay, just have a little move about on the spot. You can get quite tight with this just because you're stuck in one place, okay? So moving on, we are going for our side leg raise. So again, this is different from when you do my other classes, when we do it sort of continuously, because we're looking for a balance on one foot, okay? So take as much hold on your surface as you need. But the idea with this movement is you balance on one leg, whilst the other leg moves gently out to the side. So I'm not looking for a really wide leg lift, okay? But I am looking for your toes to stay pointing the front, pointing towards the front, okay? And for your body not to really move too much. So take up your grip on your chair, have your feet together, all right? Shift your body weight onto your standing leg, whichever leg you're not going to move. And we will do 30 seconds per leg, okay? So lift your other leg off the floor, keep it straight, and then slowly take it out to the side. Then steadily bring it in. As soon as it comes in, take it out again. So you have a smooth outward and inward motion, okay? But we're not really looking for how far can you lift your leg out. It's more just the fact that you've got to balance on one leg whilst your other leg moves to the side. 5 seconds left on this side. Very good. Pop your feet down. Again, give them a wiggle. Okay. And we will go for the other side. So again, taking your grip on your surface, shifting your body weight to your other foot now, lifting that other one off the floor, and off we go. Take it out and in very slowly. So immediately for me, I can feel that I'm slightly less balanced on this leg compared to the other. And that's normal. We're generally not symmetrical as humans. It's part of our body physiology. So it's not aim of how far can you get your leg out. You're just looking at balancing whilst moving. Lovely. There's 30 seconds. Perfect. Okay. Again, have a wiggle if need be. Right then. So this one, walking backwards. So for this, it is as simple as walking backwards, but I have a couple of tips for you, okay? When you're walking, try and keep both feet on the floor for as long as possible. Meaning what you do is when you take your step, roll your feet on and off the floor. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So that the contact with the floor is maximal the whole time, all right? It will make more sense once you get going, but you almost, I'll talk it through whilst we do it. My suggestion for safety is to walk, to normally walk towards your cameras and then walk backwards so that you can see yourself in your screen. Okay, make sure you've cleared the area and you must go slow. You get no points for going quick on this one, it's not a race, okay? So walk normally towards your cameras so you can see yourself, get a lovely view of me right now. And then start walking backwards. So when I walk, I put the toes of my back foot on the floor, then I roll onto that heel, and as I do, my front foot toes peel up, and then they switch. Hopefully that makes sense. Keep it slow. Keep your steps small. And just have a quick check behind you when you reach something so that you know you're not going to hit. Okay? Then walk forwards normally. And then you go again. So just steadily walking backwards. Okay, toes going down first, peeling that front foot up as you walk. Don't bash anything, okay? So we've got a couple more seconds. Lovely, and return back to where you started. Okay. So again, just challenging your brain slightly to move in a way that we don't normally move. You know, we tend not to walk backwards for any length of time. It's normally just a step, but just being able to transfer your weight backwards safely is really key, because a lot of the time, you know, it's a movement that will unseat us. If we have to step back suddenly, it makes us a bit wobbly with that. Okay. So flamingo swing. I think we did this last week. So you are going to lift your hip into a knee raise, like we did in the warm-up. Then you swing your leg behind and flick your heel back into a hamstring curl. Then swing forward without touching the floor. Then you swing back. So it's like a weird kicking motion, I guess. All right. So find yourselves in your position next to whatever you're holding on to. Okay, taking up as much grip as you need. Keeping your body up nice and tall, that is crucial. We don't want to hunch down or arch back, okay? Nice, just imagine your spine is all stacked one on top of the other, okay? So 30 seconds per leg, off we go. So raise into a knee raise, then don't touch the floor but swing through and flick your heel back. Then bring your foot through into a knee raise, then back and kick. Through again, up, through and flick, then up into your raise, through and kick. Got time for one more. Bring up into your raise, through and kick. Good stuff. All right, let's change legs. So again, coming up tall. So off we go, lifting into that knee raise, then through, don't touch the floor, flick your heel. Through to your knee raise, then back and flick. Knee raise again, then through and flick. Into your knee raise, then through and flick. Knee raise again, through, flick. Last one, knee raise, through and flick. Very nice. Okay, have a little wiggle. Sometimes we just need to release a bit of tension that builds up in our legs. Okay, so let's go on to, we'll do our grapevine taps. So if you were with me last week, okay, we did our steps. Okay, we'll be crossed over. What we're going to do this week is you're just going to tap across your body. So one foot stays still, the other one comes up in front and to the side. You tap, then you step back together again. Okay? So forward, cross, tap your foot, then stand back for side by side. Bring your foot forward, across, tap, then back side by side, okay? We'll do this for a minute, all right? So I've started the timer. So keep your body up tall, feet close together. Lift one up, bring it across the other foot, tap on the opposite side, then bring your feet back together. Then take your foot up, across, tap the floor, then come back together. Keep going. Again, holding on if needs be. But you might find with this one, because you're sort of moving and your feet are staying fairly close together, you might find you've got slightly more balance than when you're having to stand just on one foot. Okay, but make sure you are changing legs each time. Up, across, tap, feet together. Up, across, tap, feet together. Last 10 seconds. Lovely, and finish on that one. Very good. All right then, we'll do one more balance exercise. Okay. We are going to do quite a tricky one. We have done this before if you've done my classes previously. This is your heel stand. So this is raising your toes off the floor and holding your body so that you stay just on your heels. So I would recommend holding on for this one, even if it's just having the tips of your fingers on a work surface or the back of a chair, okay? Start with your body up tall. Now for this one, your body weight is going to be shifted behind you. So as you lift your toes and the balls of your feet off the floor, you may find you have to lean forward very, very slightly. I'm not talking about this, okay? You just have to lean forward very slightly just to balance, okay? Now for me, I find this very difficult to do without holding on at all, all right? So for me, I know that just having my fingertips on this surface here allows me to do the movement. So see what works for you, okay? So what we're going to do 30 seconds of raising. So what I'd like you to do, you're going to raise the balls of your feet and your toes off the floor, balance on your heels for a couple of seconds, then back flat. Then raise those toes again, balance for a couple of seconds and back down, all right? So you continuously go up and down. So 30 seconds has started. So up and then down. Don't forget that very slight body lean forward if you need to. This is tricky, this one. It's actually a lot easier to walk on your heels than it is to stand on your heels. So persevere. Just do what you can and take up a good grip if needs be. Lovely, there is your 30 seconds. Well done. So tricky one, but again, it's always good to work on that shifting of your body weight backwards, okay? Okay, last 5 minutes, let's do our stretches. Probably you're very familiar with these by now, certainly if you do both my classes per week. Okay, let's do what we did last week. We'll go top to bottom. So to start off, we have our chest and our shoulder stretches. So hands are going to come together, okay? We're going to combine the movements. So open out your arms like you're opening a book, okay? Then you're going to push your hands up to the sky, sorry, the ceiling and inside today. As high as you can go, really stretch up and then slowly bring your arms back down to where you started and close your palms together. Then open again, out like a book. Squeeze those elbows behind you without arching your back. Push those hands up to the ceiling, stretch up, and then down to your 90 degrees, then close your palms again. Let's go again, open out, come up, stretch up, come back down, and close your hands. One more, open out, push up, squeeze, come down and close your hands. Very good. All right then, next one is our upper body rotation. So you're going to bend forward, hands propped up on your knees, okay, so like this. If you want, you can have hands on a chair, but the body position is still the same. Now you're going to take your right hand off, have it long and hang it down in front of you. Keep your eyes fixed on that hand. Don't take your eyes and your head off of your right hand. Now, take it out to the side and swing it all the way behind you so it points as far as you can towards the ceiling. Notice my head is following my hand. Then I slowly bring it back down until it hangs in front of me again. So let's go again. So hand and head follow each other. Swing up like a windmill, as high as you can go, then slowly back down. Let's do 2 more this side. Take your hand up, open out to the sky, and then slowly down. And last one, open up behind you, point to the ceiling, and then slowly down. Lovely, now change over. So other hand goes on your knee, take your left hand down, have your head focused on your hand, and open out to the left. As high as you can go, and then slowly back down. And again, tilt up to the sky, and slowly down. Up again, point behind you, and then down. Let's have this our last one. Take it up, right far back, and slowly down. Good, and then slowly come back up to stand. Okay, let's go for our, quad stretch. So this one again can be slightly tricky depending on your flexibility. So your first option is kicking your leg behind, grabbing hold of your foot, of your ankle, of your trouser leg, of your sock, anything that you can grab in that region, and you're going to hold, okay? If that's too difficult, your second option, if you can get in this position, is to put your foot on a chair and just to simply sit down, okay? Now I appreciate that's quite difficult on the other foot. Sometimes I know some people like to prop it up and then they can reach, and it means they can grab their foot, but do what you can. So holding that stretch for a few seconds. If this one is, there's no way that you can get around this one, don't worry, hold on, and we will do some other stretches in a second. Okay, changing sides. Okay, very good. Drop that foot and we will go for our last stretch. Let's do our hamstring stretch. So one leg comes in front of you, heel on the floor, leg straight. What you're going to do is bend your other knee and both hips push out behind you. With your hands, place your hands on your bent leg, okay? So you've got one leg out straight in front of you, the other one's bent, and your hands are resting on the thigh of the bent leg, okay? Should be able to feel it down the back of your thigh on the outstretched leg. Let's do calf at the same time. You're going to draw your toes very gently up towards the ceiling. And that should make you feel it a little bit in your calf as well, all right? Just hold there and breathe. Lovely, drop your foot and slowly come back up, and then you're going to change over. So, other leg out straight in front of you, bend the other knee, both your hips push behind you, and your hands go on the thigh of your bent leg. Hold for a few seconds, and then gently pull your toes towards the ceiling on your outstretched leg. And that will get the calf as well as the back of your leg. Good, and we will finish there. Slowly come back up and give yourselves a round of applause.